Matthew chapter 11. And it came to pass that when Jesus had made an end of commanding his 12 disciples, he departed thence to teach and to preach in their cities. And when John heard in the prison the works of Christ, he sent 2 of his disciples, and said unto him, Art thou he that should come, or shall we look for another? And Jesus answering said unto them, Go and show John what things ye hear and see. The blind receive sight, the halt to walk, the lepers are cleansed, and the deaf hear. The dead are raised up, and the poor receive gospel. And blessed is he that shall not be offended in me. And as they departed, Jesus began to speak unto the multitude of John. What went ye out into the wilderness to see? A reed shaken with the wind? But what went ye out to see? A man clothed in soft raiment? Behold, they that wear soft clothing are in kings' houses. But what went ye out to see? A prophet? Yea, I say unto you, and more than a prophet. For this is he of whom it is written, Behold, I send my messenger before thy face, which shall prepare thy way before thee. Verily I say unto you, among them which are begotten of women arose there not a greater than John the Baptist. Notwithstanding, he that is the least in the kingdom of heaven is greater than he. And from the time of John the Baptist hitherto, the kingdom of God suffereth violence, and the violent take it by force. For all the prophets and the law prophesied unto John. And if ye will receive it, this is that Elijah which was to come. He that hath ears to hear, let him hear. But whereunto shall I liken this generation? It is like unto little children which sit in the markets, and call unto their fellows, and say, We have piped unto you, and ye have not danced. We have mourned unto you, and ye have not lamented. For John came neither eating nor drinking, and they say, He hath a devil. The Son of Man came eating and drinking, and they say, Behold, a glutton and a drinker of wine, a friend unto publicans and sinners. But wisdom is justified of her children. Then began he to upbraid the cities wherein most of his great works were done, because they repented not. Woe be to thee, Chorazin! Woe be to thee, Bethsaida! For if the great works which were done in you had been done in Tyre and Sidon, they had repented long ago, in sackcloth and in ashes. But I say unto you, it shall be easier for Tyre and Sidon at the day of judgment than for you. And thou, Capernaum, which art lifted up unto heaven, shalt be brought down to hell. For if the great works which have been done in thee had been done among them of Sodom, they had remained to this day. But I say unto you that it shall be easier for them in the land of Sodom in the day of judgment than for thee. At that time Jesus answered and said, I give thee thanks, O Father, Lord of heaven and earth, because thou hast hid these things from the wise and men of understanding, and hast opened them unto babes. It is so, Father, because thy good pleasure was such. All things are given unto me of my Father, and no man knoweth the Son but the Father, neither knoweth any man the Father but the Son, and he to whom the Son will reveal him. Come unto me, all ye that are weary and laden, and I will ease you. Take my yoke upon you, and learn of me, that I am meek and lowly in heart, and ye shall find rest unto your souls. For my yoke is easy, and my burden light. Matthew chapter 12. At that time Jesus went on a Sabbath day through the corn, and his disciples were an hungered, and began to pluck the ears of corn and to eat. And when the Pharisees saw it, they said unto him, Behold, thy disciples do that which is not lawful to do upon the Sabbath. But he said unto them, Have ye not read what David did when he was an hungered, and they that were with him, how he went into the house of God, and did eat the showbread, which was not lawful for him to eat, neither for them which were with him, but only for the priests? Or have ye not read in the law, how that on the Sabbath days the priests in the temple break the Sabbath, and are blameless? But I say unto you, that here is one greater than the temple. Wherefore if you knew what this is, I will have mercy and not sacrifice, you would not have condemned the innocent. For the Son of Man is Lord, even of the Sabbath. And he departed thence, and went into their synagogue. And behold, there was a man which had his hand dried up. And they asked him, saying, Is it lawful to heal upon a Sabbath day? That they might accuse him. And he said unto them, What man shall there be among you that hath a sheep, and if it fall on the Sabbath day into a pit, doth not take it and lift it out? How much more then is a man better than a sheep? Therefore it is lawful to do well on the Sabbath day. Then said he to the man, Stretch forth thine hand. And he stretched it forth, and it was made whole as the other. Then the Pharisees went out and consulted against him, how they might destroy him. But when Jesus knew it, he departed thence, and great multitudes followed him, and he healed them all, and charged them in threatening wise that they should not make him known, but that it might be fulfilled which was spoken by Isaiah the prophet, saying, Behold my servant whom I have chosen, my beloved in whom my soul delighteth. I will put my spirit on him, and he shall show judgment to the Gentiles. He shall not strive nor cry, neither shall any man hear his voice in the streets. A bruised reed shall he not break, and smoking flax shall he not quench, till he bring forth judgment unto victory. And in his name shall the Gentiles trust. Then was brought to him one possessed with a devil, both blind and dumb, and he healed him, so that he which was blind and dumb both spake and saw. And all the people were amazed, and said, Is this not that son of David? And when the Pharisees heard it, they said, This man casteth out the devils no otherwise out but through Beelzebub, the prince of the devils. Jesus knew their thoughts, and said unto them, Every kingdom divided against itself is brought to naught, and every city or house divided against itself shall not stand. So if Satan cast out Satan, he is divided against himself. How shall then his kingdom endure? Also, if I, through Beelzebub, cast out devils, by whom do your children cast them out? Therefore they shall be your judges. But if I cast out devils by the Spirit of God, then it is the kingdom of God come unto you. Else how can a man enter into a strong man's house and spoil his goods, except he first bind the strong man, and then spoil his house? He that is not with me is against me, and he that gathereth not with me scattereth. Wherefore I say unto you, every sin and blasphemy shall be forgiven unto men, but the blasphemy against the Holy Ghost shall not be forgiven unto men. And whosoever shall speak a word against the Son of Man, it shall be forgiven him. But whosoever shall speak against the Holy Ghost, it shall not be forgiven him, either in this world nor in the world to come. Either make the tree good and his fruit good, or else make the tree evil and his fruit evil. For the tree is known by its fruit. O generation of vipers, how can you speak good things when ye are evil? For of the abundance of the heart the mouth speaketh. A good man out of the good treasure of his heart bringeth forth good things, and an evil man out of the evil treasure bringeth forth evil things. But I say unto you, that of every idle word that men shall speak, they shall give account thereof at the day of judgment. For by thy words thou shalt be justified, and by thy words thou shalt be condemned. Then answered certain of the scribes and of the Pharisees, saying, Master, we would see a sign of thee. But he answered and said to them, An evil and adulterous generation seeketh a sign, but no sign shall be given unto it, save the sign of the prophet Jonah. For as Jonah was 3 days and 3 nights in the whale's belly, so shall the Son of Man be 3 days and 3 nights in the heart of the earth. The men of Nineveh shall rise in judgment with this generation, and condemn it. For they repented at the preaching of Jonah, and behold, a greater than Jonah is here. The queen of the south shall rise in judgment with this generation, and shall condemn it. For she came from the uttermost parts of the earth to hear the wisdom of Solomon. And behold, a greater than Solomon is here. Now when the unclean spirit is gone out of a man, he walketh throughout dry places, seeking rest, and findeth none. Then he saith, I will return unto mine house, from whence I came. And when he is come, he findeth it empty, swept, and garnished. Then he goeth and taketh unto him 7 other spirits worse than himself, and they enter in and dwell there. and the end of that man is worse than the beginning. Even so it shall be with this wicked generation. While he yet spake to the multitude, behold, his mother and his brethren stood without, desiring to speak with him. Then one said unto him, Behold, thy mother and brethren stand without, desiring to speak with thee. But he answered and said to him that told him, Who is my mother, and who are my brethren? And he stretched forth his hand toward his disciples, and said, Behold, my mother and my brethren. For whosoever shall do my Father's will, which is in heaven, the same is my brother and sister and mother. Matthew chapter 13. The same day went Jesus out of the house and sat by the seaside, and great multitudes resorted unto him, so that he went into a ship and sat down, and the whole multitude stood on the shore. Then they spake many things to them in parables, saying, Behold, a sower went forth to sow, and as he sowed, some fell by the wayside, and the fowls came and devoured them up. And some fell upon stony ground, for they had not much earth, and anon they sprang up, because they had no depth of earth. When the sun was up, they were parched, and for lack of rooting withered away. And some fell among thorns, and the thorns sprung up and choked them. Some again fell in good ground, and brought forth fruit, 1 corn an 100-fold, some 60, and another 30-fold. He that hath ears to hear, let him hear. Then the disciples came and said to him, Why speakest thou to them in parables? And he answered and said unto them, Because it is given unto you to know the secrets of the kingdom of heaven, but to them it is not given. For whosoever hath, to him shall be given, and he shall have abundance. But whosoever hath not, from him shall be taken away even that he hath. Therefore speak I to them in parables, because they seeing do not see, and hearing do not hear, neither understand. So in them is fulfilled the prophecy of Isaiah, which prophecy saith, By hearing ye shall hear, and shall not understand, and seeing ye shall see, and shall not perceive. For this people's heart is waxed fat, and their ears are dull of hearing. And with their eyes they have winked, lest they should see with their eyes, and hear with their ears, and should understand with their hearts, and should return, that I might heal them. But blessed are your eyes, for they see, and your ears, for they hear. For verily I say unto you, that many prophets and righteous men have desired to see those things which ye see, and have not seen them, and to hear those things which ye hear, and have not heard them. Hear ye therefore the parable of the sower. Whensoever any man heareth the word of the kingdom, and understandeth not, the evil one cometh and catcheth away that which was sown in his heart. And this is he which hath received the seed by the wayside. And he that received seed in the stony ground is he that heareth the word, and incontinently, with joy, receiveth it. Yet hath he no root in himself, and endureth but a season. For as soon as tribulation or persecution cometh because of the word, by and by he is offended. And he that receiveth the seed among thorns is he that heareth the word, but the care of this world and the deceitfulness of riches choke the word, and he is made unfruitful. But he that receiveth the seed in the good ground is he that heareth the word, and understandeth it, which also beareth fruit, and bringeth forth some 100-fold, some 60-fold, and some 30-fold. Another parable put he forth unto them, saying, The kingdom of heaven is like a man which sowed good seed in his field. But while the man slept, there came his enemy, and sowed tares among the wheat, and went his way. And when the blade was sprung up, it brought forth both fruit, and then appeared the tares also. Then came the servants of the household, and said unto him, Master, sowest thou not good seed in thy field? From whence then are the tares? And he said unto them, Some envious man hath done this. Then the servants said unto him, Wilt thou then that we go and gather them up? But he said, Nay, lest while ye go about to gather the tares, ye pluck up also with them the wheat. Let both grow together until the harvest. And in time of harvest I will say to the reapers, Gather ye first the tares, and bind them in sheaves to burn them, but gather the wheat into my barn. Another parable he put forth unto them, saying, The kingdom of heaven is like unto a grain of mustard seed, which a man taketh and soweth in his field, which indeed is the least of all seeds, but when it is grown, it is the greatest among herbs, and it is also a tree, so that the birds of heaven come and build in the branches thereof. Another parable spake he to them, The kingdom of heaven is like unto leaven, which a woman taketh and hideth in 3 pecks of meal, till all be leavened. All these things spake Jesus unto the multitude in parables, and without parables spoke he not unto them, that it might be fulfilled, which was spoken by the prophet, saying, I will open my mouth in parables, and will utter the things which has been kept secret from the foundation of the world. Then sent Jesus the multitude away, and went into the house. And his disciples came unto him, saying, Declare unto us the parable of the tares of that field. Then answered he, and said unto them, He that soweth the good seed is the Son of Man, and the field is the world. And the good seed are the children of the kingdom, and the tares are the children of that wicked one. And the enemy that soweth them is the devil, and the harvest is the end of the world, and the reapers be the angels. As then the tares are gathered and burned in the fire, so shall it be in the end of this world. The Son of Man shall send forth his angels, and they shall gather out of his kingdom all that offend, and them which do iniquity, and shall cast them into a furnace of fire. There shall be wailing and gnashing of teeth. Then shall the just men shine as the sun in the kingdom of their Father. He that hath ears to hear, let him hear. Again, the kingdom of heaven is like unto a treasure hid in a field, which when a man hath found, he hideth it, and for the joy thereof departeth, and selleth all that he hath, and buyeth the field. Again, the kingdom of heaven is like to a merchant man that seeketh good pearls, who having found a pearl of a great price, went and sold all that he had, and bought it. Again, the kingdom of heaven is like unto a draw net cast into the sea, that gathereth all kinds of things, which when it is full, men draw to land, and sit and gather the good unto vessels, and cast the bad away. So shall it be at the end of the world. The angels shall go forth, and sever the bad from among the good, and shall cast them into a furnace of fire, and there shall be wailing and gnashing of teeth. Jesus said unto them, Understand ye all these things? They said unto him, Yea, Lord. Then said he unto them, Therefore every scribe which is taught unto the kingdom of heaven is like unto an householder, which bringeth forth out of his treasure things both new and old. And it came to pass, that when Jesus had ended these parables, he departed thence, and came into his own country, and taught them in their synagogue, so that they were astonied, and said, Whence cometh this wisdom and great works unto this man? Is not this the carpenter's son? Is not his mother called Mary, and his brethren James and Joseph, and Simon and Judas? And are not his sisters all with us? Whence hath he all these things? And they were offended with him. Then Jesus said unto them, A prophet is not without honor, save in his own country, and in his own house. And he did not many great works there, for their unbelief's sake.